When I think deeply, I somehow get a feeling that all these religions, all these ideas about worship, about gods, about heaven, hell, and all these seems to me like a trap created in such a way that. Uh, but before coming to that, let me just tell you about this. Actually, there is this idea um, that has been brought out uh, through Bhagavad Gita and various other texts of the Hindu uh, thinking, which says that uh, the moment after the death of a person is decided uh, based on the last thought or the emotional condition of being at the time of death. So that leads to, because that in fact could be true, and I feel it is true, because each moment decides the next moment. So similarly, the moment of death will decide the next moment of that being. Might be the body will be lost, but that is not the end of the road. The mind continues, the consciousness is always there. And based on the vagaries of the mind, or the undulations of the mind, or the impurities of the mind, the next body will be attracted by the mind. It is not that the mind ends there, because I have my own personal experience of being out of the body, when I could actually feel the mind was out, only the body was separate. So I believe that it is not a belief. I know that it is true that mind will continue and will continue to attract the next moment the being will go through after shedding the body. So that being the condition, see, what I feel is that these religions, uh, the religious doctrines have been formulated, probably keeping this idea in mind. See, what they might have been or might be targeting is that the human beings, or such a large mass of people, are indoctrinated into a particular kind of thought. Now, when somebody is indoctrinated from birth, what happens is the entire lifespan of that human being, the idea is totally instilled, and the that fear of the God, or the eagerness to meet God in heaven, or the eagerness to go to heaven, these ideas are hammered in to a human being from birth, and that becomes second nature. That kind of process, that wanting to go and meet somebody, or wanting to go to a particular place or kind of experience. And particularly at the time of death, all these ideas will crop up, and that becomes the being at the point of death. The that being or human being will be filled with these kind of thoughts, or the expectation or the hope that anyways I am going to die, so probably I am going to meet my God, or I'm going to heaven, or might be the fear of hell if the person is a sinner. Now what happens is, the person who is leaving the body with that kind of an emotional state of mind will naturally be drawn to that kind of an atmosphere after losing the body. So likewise, all these beings who are shedding their bodies with these kind of emotions, for having indoctrinated from birth. They are only able to think in that particular way, and all these people, or the large mass of people who are uh, of that particular religious faith, will give up their body hoping to meet a particular kind of a god, or hoping to reach a particular kind of space. So what happens? All these beings ultimately reach that kind of a space merely by through the power of thinking. So all these large group of people are brought to that place. So this is one way of bringing a large group of people to one particular place for further indoctrination, or further tasks to be done through them. So it could be positive or negative, probably like we can keep it as positive, and let us say that this large mass of people who are gathered, and they being they having done virtuous deeds during their lifetime, because only such beings will be able to foresee or hope to meet God or think of heaven, only if they are confident about their virtuous deeds during their lifetime. A person who has done a lot of harmful things or harmed a lot of people cannot even think, or cannot even hope to hope for such kind of a space after life. So obviously all these people qualify, because they themselves feel that they have accomplished something and they deserve this. So all these people who feel they deserve, they come to that kind of a space after death. And and as they desire, or as they might have envisioned, they will obviously see that kind of an entity there, ruling over them or lording over them. See, all these things are creation of the mind. It's all the emotion that is creating the next moment. So these things are created. This kind of world is created, where all these beings gather together. And probably they might be led to further progress in the form of self-realization, after which they will be liberated. Or probably they might be further indoctrinated into different tasks. And ultimately I feel uh, the liberation, or the freedom from all these will be only through self-realization. Otherwise it'll be like going from one place to another, same, the continuous cycle, taking birth again. Maybe it will be a different space, might be very comfortable space, but you having taken birth in that particular place, you can never appreciate that kind of a comfort, because only if you face the other extreme, then you can appreciate the opposite extreme. If you have never faced that, you will never know that such extreme exists. So you will obviously be, in the long term, after a long time, you will obviously grow bored, or uncomfortable with that particular situation, however comfortable it is. So what I feel is that the ultimate liberation or freedom can only come through self-realization, which can be achieved in this very human lifetime. Instead of imagining about hell or heaven, or meeting somebody whom you call as God, instead of getting into all this, if we can spend time in understanding the self, or the 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 ultimate consciousness that forms the substratum of this existence, then I feel the freedom is not something very far, or lifetimes away. It is something that can be experienced and understood right here and now. Thank you.